It's such a cute space.
It's so nice, isn't it?
It's nice to have your own space.
I know, can you imagine?
It's like a pretty tree.
Because do you carry everything?
I can keep it in there.
Oh, that's so good.
Only laundry I carry.
Oh yeah, like a little turtle on your back.
Oh my god, like, I'm like a little Uber driver in my back.
Oh, but it's so exciting.
It's so good.
I'm very inspired. Very cool.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, gorgeous.
So
So today we are going to work with releasing each muscle group and just really trying to iron out any areas of tension, any like muscle patterns that are formed. So, for example, like the frown lines in between the eyes when we're concentrating, releasing all of the tension that builds up in the neck and shoulders as well, especially being a facialist. We're always hunched over and looking down at our clients, and this can be an area that gets really tight. So for you, Dee Dee, I think spending a lot of time just opening up that area will be really nice. And then once everything's warmed up, I'm going to pop my gloves on and we're going to work inside the mouth, so doing the intraoral work. And this is just, as you know, the best feeling and just creating so much space. There's lots of interesting things about how much emotions we store in the jaw as well. So it can be good after a period of busyness or tension or just everyday stresses. A really lovely treatment to release that as well. So yeah, I really hope by the end of today's session you'll just feel a little bit lighter, a little bit more energized, as well as like deeply relaxed and ready to take on the rest of the week. So yeah, that's my hope for today.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Beautiful. Yeah, floating like a little cloud all the way home, and into the rest of the week. But first, I'm going to start by prepping your skin. So we're going to do a really gentle cleanse. I know you mentioned that your skin can be quite reactive, so we're going to go in with a cleansing milk, which I hope will be lovely and soothing. And we're just going to start with our big opening strokes, creating really nice flow between movements. And so everything feels like it's connected. Working into all of the areas of the face separately. And just spending a little bit of time here. Not in a rush to do anything or be anywhere. We're not needed by anyone. We can just be. It's so important to take time for ourselves. And I think facials are so magical for this because you're so still. I always say that as much as I love giving and receiving body massages, there's something even more special about facials, because your body is just allowed to sink into the bed, and I feel like my mind always goes to like another dimension. It really allows it to drift off, and that kind of space between waking and sleeping. And that same space we look for when we're doing yoga nidra, looking for that dream awake state of being. It's a really magical place to be. I'd quite like to live there. Beautiful. And just finishing really gentle cleanse. Tiny little circles with each of my fingertips, just working the product deeper into the skin. And creating a really lovely flow, and then holding on the temples. And if you could take a deep breath in for me, Dee Dee. and release whenever you're ready. Beautiful. Sometimes even just finding your breath and just extending each one can be so helpful and completely shift our mind into that state of relaxation. Even just bring your awareness, like where are we breathing from? Is it really high up in our chest? Is it in our throat? Or are we breathing all the way from our belly and our diaphragm? Gorgeous. I'm going to take one set of warm mitts. And I'm going to remove that milk cleanser. I like to hover the heat over the face just to introduce it, and then landing on the neck and lifting up. That warmth can be so comforting and reassuring. And working up the nose and out and across the forehead. Holding on the temples for just a second and then releasing. Beautiful. And I'm going to start straight onto the chest and just opening up those pectoral muscles, creating space. And you're going to take it from one side and wave over to the other, and then return. Taking my oil round the back of the neck and all the way back to the occipital with a really lovely pull. Creating that stretch, upward lift, and then release. I'm going to do this a few times. This is an area that really can hold tension. Lift and release. I'm going to work in with my knuckles. So I'm applying a deeper pressure here. And then again, pumping out towards the armpits. Creating a fan effect with one hand and then the other. Moving from one side and then across. And then bigger circles. And then lifting up and behind. And taking both my thumbs and just gently working into this area, sitting behind the shoulders. Often an area that can become really tight. And just circling out over any areas of tension that I can feel. Taking my hands into fists and pushing down and then gliding back up. circling up onto the chest and releasing. My pressure is kind of down and out. And then coming back to lift all the way to behind the ears. This is so good. So needed. And then gently circling at the occipiter and just hooking my fingers back and up towards myself. And circling behind the ears, gently pulsing either side of the ears, and then circles into the scalp. And then repeating back with those circles, traveling up towards myself and into the hairline, applying a deeper pressure. All of our facial muscles travel back into the scalp. And so we really want to release any areas of tension to get the best results when we're working on the face. And take both my hands and place them together, and then gently pressing in and down towards your toes. Final circles with my fingertips. And then combing through with my hands. So there's something so lovely about having your hair played with. I always think about primary school and all we used to do was play with each other's hair. Like a break time ritual of calming our nervous systems when we actually knew what it was. Gorgeous. And I'm going to take an extra pump of oil. I'm going to start working up onto the face. So coming from the neck to under the jawline, sweeping along the jawline, either side of the lips, and then up. And rotating on the jawline, and just feeling out for any initial areas of tension, anywhere where Didi might be holding, and just gently encouraging that release that we're going to be aiming for. Beautiful. Coming back down to the neck. I'm going to work up the SEM, collarbone to behind the ear. Always using my body weight as I work, so I rock backwards to increase the strength of that stretch. And keeping as much surface area of my fingers in connection with Didi as possible. And pulling all the way to behind the ears. And then coming up onto the face and now working collarbone to in front of the ears. And keeping that pressure nice and firm and lifting up towards myself. And starting with big circles over the masseter, so trying to use my whole hand from my wrist to my fingertips. And creating a big circle, trying to keep even pressure throughout the movement. And then turning my hands over and using my knuckles. So again, building this pressure. And then releasing and working out along the jaw. First with alternating hands. One travels and then the other. And coming back into prayer on the chin and spreading out towards the ears. Both hands traveling together. Again, slowly increasing that pressure. And then taking my thumbs on top and all my other fingers underneath. And cradling the jaw. And we're just flowing out towards the ears. And then back into my knuckles. Gently flowing down the neck. And back to the center of the chest. Big stretch on the back of the neck. And landing back on the face. Using my lifting movement again to work in and out along the jaw. Really focusing over that masseter and working at it from a couple of different directions. And then taking that same movement but stretching from the corner of the lip out towards the ear, following the rosorius muscle. And really trying to open the face here. And then bringing that up on a diagonal. Big stretch from corner of the lips up to temples. And then traveling down the nose and opening the face. And really scooping underneath the cheekbones. And working out towards the ears. And coming to do some detailed work, lifting the upper lip. And then working out along the nasal labial folds. And then opening the face. They're so funny because they're there because you smile all the time, Didi, and it's so nice that you smile all the time.
They get that part of me.
We have to do some radical self-acceptance. Beautiful, circling around the eyes. And then reversing and coming down. Really light pressure underneath the eyes. And then lifting up onto the forehead and again lifting towards the hairline. And this is a really beautiful area to release. I know personally I use my eyebrows to say everything, so it gets a lot of work. And then we're going to stretch out across the corrugators, using my thumb to anchor and then replace. And then slowly moving up the forehead, stretching the whole of frontalis. And then repeating that on the other side. And stretching halfway, replacing and stretching the other half. And then working my way all the way up to the hairline. Beautiful. Stretching both at the same time. And then stretching all the way out, using the heel of my hand to apply pressure. Beautiful, releasing and holding just below the brows. And then traveling out and holding. And then finishing with 1,000 hands all the way from the third eye up into the hairline. And doing big stretches. And apply some more oil. Really focusing along the jaw and the top lip. I'm going to take some lip mask on a Q-tip. And gently apply that. And this just makes sure that the jaw is really comfortable and doesn't cause any pulling or discomfort. It should be a really gentle and releasing practice. And it does just create space you didn't even know you needed. And I find it really interesting since I had Invisalign or started wearing my retainer, I became so much more aware, or it caused more jaw tension for me. And yeah, Intraoral was such a helpful treatment to receive. Perfect. I'm going to pop my gloves on. It's not the easiest part of our job. It's a very necessary battle. It can be a real battle. There we go. And they are on. Perfect. So to begin, Dee Dee, if you could open your mouth for me. Lovely. And then close. You're going to keep your jaw as relaxed as possible, and you're going to let me know if anything at all feels uncomfortable at any point. I'm going to start with some lovely big circles. One small, one medium, and one large. Again, one small, one medium, and one large. And I'm just really feeling in and tuning in. Beautiful. Include the jaw. Make my circles a little bit bigger. Perfect. And then I'm going to slowly glide over to one side and gently tip your head. Perfect. And just starting by working off the bottom of the jaw and lifting up towards myself. When we get to the ear, I'm going to gently pull out to the corner of the lip and then circling off the top of the cheekbone down towards your toes. And again, I'm pulling from the ear all the way out, following Rosorius, and then scooping back off the jaw. Gentle pulls. And then sweeping down. I'm going to start by introducing a counter stretch inside and out. And then gently pulling, sweeping upwards, my thumb following my fingers from inside the mouth, and gently circling to release. And stretching outwards. And scooping down. And final pause. And taking my hand round to the other side, opening up a little pocket and switching hands. Gently gliding over to the other side and starting again. And circling up towards myself, towards the ear, and then lifting and pulling. Stretching both hands over the masseter and pulling all the way to the corner of the lip. Coming down off the cheekbone. Again, slowly, gently circling. lifting up. And just trying to help along that release. Really gentle but powerful technique. I really enjoy working with. And final sweeps down off the cheekbone towards your toes, and opening the pocket and coming round and back to center, and starting again with our circling. One small, one medium, and one large. One small, one medium, and one large. My large circle's getting even bigger. And then lifting all the way up. You can do a nice little wiggle here to release. Again, gentle but firm. Confident touch. And coming together and lifting out. Beautiful. Coming straight back in with some gentle massage. Working out over the jaw and helping anything to drain away. Creating an opening over the face. And then back to my lifting and releasing. Big circles. Big circular movements. And turning gently to the side, just to work slightly deeper over the jaw. using a counter stretch. Nice circular movements, and then lifting and stretching from different directions. And stretching out and along. Holding pressure points. And then releasing. And tilt and do the same on the other side. So coming up through center. And gently dipping. Again out along the jawline. Counter stretches. And that circular push and pull. And lift. And stretching from different directions and just releasing the muscle. And then creating that nice finishing movement and draining down the neck. And coming back into center. Prayer on the chin and all the way up to the hairline. Coming from the forehead and draining down underneath the jaw and onto the chest. And repeating, so from the chin all the way to the forehead. Up into prayer on the forehead and draining down to below the jaw and landing on the chest. Working from one side to the other, pushing the shoulders away from the ears. I'm going to take my steamer towel and just folding that top third down. And placing it on the face and wrapping the heat. Gently pressing it in. And then removing. And then going to take that over the chest and gently press that warmth in. Almost like a cat when they're purring. And then to finish, I'm going to take our same cleansing milk just to remove any remnants of oil. And working into each section of the face, lifting and soothing. You can take this cleanser down onto the chest as well. And up the neck. And circling around the eyes. And down onto the chin. And taking my next set of mitts and hovering the warmth. And then landing on the chest, pressing down and sweeping out. Lifting out along the jaw, either side, completely symmetrical movements. Making sure to remove all of the cleanser and the oil. Holding on the temples before releasing. I'm going to take my hydrating rose mist. And spraying up so it lands gently. And that's the Nini Organics Rosé, my favourite mist. Perfect, and then I'm going to finish with a moisturiser just to lock everything in. And again, nice lifting movements, gently sweeping over the whole face. Beautiful. And just as we finish, we can take a couple of deep breaths together. Inhaling for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding for 4 at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. And a big release. Beautiful. We're going to do that once more. Breathing in for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding at the top. 4, 3, 2, 1. And